Hi, and welcome to Michelle Creations. I'm excited and nervous to try this one today. I have 6 ounces of resin mixed up here, and we are going to try this Beebeecraft mold. It is so pretty. It's almost like a flower pot bottom with these little diamond cutouts, and then the top looks like a crown. My problem with it, Maisie hair, is see how it's deformed? And I'm hoping, foolishly or not, that once I add some resin to this, it's going to pull its shape back. The only downside is without it having a good shape to it, this is all that the bottom has to sit on. So it's not very stable, if you will. So I have this also that I got from Beebeecraft, and I'm going to put it in there, and then if I have to, I'll put some jars or something around the edge to kind of hold it straight. And I'm hoping that once I get something in it and get that warm, you know, from the resin doing its thing, maybe the shape will come back to it. We're going to try it and see what happens. Worst case scenario, it's a flop. I think regardless, we're going to have a very pretty bottom. I did decide that we've only got a couple of videos left for the St. Patrick's Day season. So I am going to go ahead and add shamrocks to the resin today. I have gone ahead and added some of our Unicone art crushed crystal, which I add to everything, my gremlin dust, because when you put it in water, it multiplies like crazy. I've gone ahead and added some of that to it. I did add, for those of you guys that saw me use this last time, I should have done it on camera because you never know. I could have dumped it in there again and had a chaotic mess, but it didn't. It went flying. It went fine. And I have got a big old chunk of resin debris right there. Don't know where that came from, but I don't want it in there. So then what we're going to do is we are going to add some of the some of our clovers, our shamrocks, whatever you want to call it, to the resin. I am going to go ahead and add, I have 6 ounces, so I'm going to add 6 drops of clear glue. That helps suspend this so that it doesn't just sink to the bottom. And I think we're going to mix this in. My biggest fear, and I know it's going to happen because it happens on my keychains, especially this dark green. This is going to bleed and it's going to turn my resin green. So I think let's add the glue first. I was already ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm not squeezing it. I'm just letting it come out on its own. And then we're going to mix that. And it's going to basically, this resin's already mixed and ready to go. And what it's going to do is it's going to turn this really thick, almost like into slime. See how it doesn't run off anymore? My trimmers are really bad today, sorry. See, it almost makes it slime. So the glitter and sequins or whatever it is you add to it from here is going to just kind of float in it. That's not going to be able to sink because it's too thick. All right. So then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the lightest one. Actually, I'm going to add some gold glitter to give us some gold shimmer for St. Paddy's Day. And we're going to mix that in a little bit. And then I'm going to add the lightest to the darkest. And I'm only doing that hoping that it's only going to be my dark shamrocks that's going to discolor my resin. I might have added way too much gold. Oh, I think it'll be all right. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to put you on a fast forward while I do the rest of these, and we'll come back when we're ready to pour. All right, so I know we want to make sure that this is going to work really well. So all I'm going to take is I got some 99% rubbing alcohol in here, and I'm just going to spray down inside this mold real good. And that's just to make sure that we don't get any bubbles. And then we are going to pour, I'm going to smushy that around on the inside, making sure I get down into these points. Oh. I guess I didn't want bubbles in my resin on the, oh lordy. That's all good. No worries. Stay there. All right. Get all this out of the way. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm going to give this a little squishy to get it down into the bottom. Slice that off. Oh, get off of there. Just to make sure it's getting all the way down to the bottom. And into all these little pokey thingies on the side. I found that if you can kind of cover those in resin now, that it tends to not get bubbles there. I'm probably just creating a bazillion of bubbles now. Okay, I've done everything I can to prevent bubbles, so we'll top it off and see what happens. And that left me about 3.5 ounces, almost 4, but I bet we were pushing 8 by the time we added all of the glitter and stuff into this one. So just trying to work out any bubbles that might be in there. And the nice thing about these molds is they are clear, so you can see through it. Like I can see that there's a bubble right there in that one. Let's see if I can pick it up without tipping it over. I can just push that. There we go. Now that bubble is gone. Got a bubble here. And a bubble there. There we go. All right, I'm gonna let that one settle. And let's see what kind of chaos I can cause on the lid. I'm gonna put a pair of gloves on just because I have a feeling this is gonna get messy. And I really don't want it all over me, so get some PPE out here real quick and I will be right back. Okay, let's give this a shot. Oh man, I should have took my ring off. Oh well. I'm gonna pour it in the bottom and then I'm gonna squish it down in there. Make sure it's down in the tip of that so that we don't get an air bubble in there, because you sure don't want the top of that popping off because there's an air pocket in between that little cap part, the decorative part, and the rest of the piece. So just like if you have chess pieces, if you've ever done those, this is how we do our chess pieces too. All right, now let's see how this goes. Oh, I am so nervous. Good Lord. It's actually doing really well. Better than I thought it was going to. This side's actually caving in. Ah, don't you do that. Come back here. Glad I put gloves on. There we go. So the pour spout of it, this piece here, this section was sitting in that, and I think that's what, well, it's still caving in a little bit there. What about this? If I can just get that to hang. Oh, I think this might work. I think that might work because the tip of that's not actually in the resin. It's hanging, it's just up on the top of the lid, or on the top of the mold. And needs a little bit more. Now it's topped off. And I'm still not in the resin, so I'm just sitting just... Why did I touch that? That was... Yell at me and tell me to leave stuff alone. It was fine. Why did I move it? Oh, no. There we go. Don't touch it. Oh, I just touched my face. I am such a nerd. Oh, my goodness. All right. Before I touch anything else, I'm going to find something to put the extra in. I have about 1 ounce, so I'll find something to do with the rest of that. Take these off before I make any more of a mess, and we'll see you guys back here when it's cured. Be right back. All right, we got a couple of extras here that we were able to pour with the leftover resin. And this one is probably one of my favorite molds. I don't know why. It's probably because it's so simple. It's just a little bird. Super cute. Oh. Oops. So we have that. And then I had enough for a pendant. So this one will be pretty cut and dry. A little trimming to do on that. And then I'll top coat it so that it'll really sparkle. But that one turned out really nice. Okay. Oh, it looks like all my shamrocks sank. That's interesting. Okay, so I had a mishap with the base. And it overflowed. And it looks like it also sank. Interesting. Well, let's do this one first. So it should be pretty easy. I say that. I don't know why I say things like that. There we go. Oh, it's pretty. It just, unfortunately, it all sank to the top. But it is pretty. Just fold that right side out. And it did not help. So I'll have to figure something out. But it is pretty. We'll do it again, because it obviously, well, I think it'll work. I'll trim that off. Let's see if I can... Oh, this side bulged out a little bit. Darn it. Okay, I'm going to just spray this one, I can tell already. This is going to be a little tougher to get out just because the opening is so much smaller than the base. So this one's going to take a little bit of finesse. Maybe not. It's a good thing it's a flexible mold. Oh, a little warped. Thankfully, it's still a little bendy. So it did sink all to the top. It's still really pretty. And from the top, it's gorgeous. It just, unfortunately, it all sank. Which I've never had happen when you put Elmer's glue in there, or glue in it. And it sits in there good. So, I mean, it's a good cohesive piece. What do you think? Do you like it? I think I like it. Even though the shamrocks sank, it's still really pretty. You still kind of get that that St. Paddy's Day feel a little bit. The bottom does have, I'll have to do some trimming here. And then you can see the shamrocks on the inside of it down in the base as well. I'll get some pictures and put them here at the end and let me know what you think. I'll try this with some clear resin and just some alcohol inks. so that we can see the design a little better on the sides. I'm surprised how heavy well, it is 6 ounces, I guess, of resin. I don't know why I'm surprised. So anyways, what do you think? Let me know if you have ideas for colors, maybe, or some different ideas, or if you have any helpful tricks and tips to try and figure out how to get this straightened out. Overall, it's a really pretty, mold. I like it. It'll be even better if we can figure out how to get this straightened out so we don't have to fidget with it. So anywhoots, thank you guys so much for joining me. I am leaving on a jet plane tomorrow to head to Seattle, Washington to help my kids move back home. Their job is bringing them back down here. So I'm not 100% sure that I'll have a video up on Sunday. Maybe I'll put some road trip pictures up or something. We'll see what happens. So anyhow, until next time, whenever that might be, have a fantastic day. Please hit the subscribe, the like, and leave us a comment down below if you have any suggestions or ideas, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.